Hey, what's up, everyone? Just wanted to take a minute to talk about the seedings for the playoffs and how I think the Packers, and just to give you some background, right? I mean, I've spent a bunch of time up there in Wisconsin, loved Cheeseheads. I think they have a clear path to the Super Bowl this year. If you think about it, the team that I was most scared for, Green Bay, to play, just given that I was there when uh, Colin Kaepernick led 49ers came into Lambeau and whooped the Packers. I think the physicality of the 49ers is the biggest threat. And I believe just the way the matchups are, right? I think the Cowboys have enough on defense that they can stop the Niners from running, and they have plethora of offensive weapons that can beat the 49ers. So I was worried that the 49ers may be the seventh seed, and then first divisional round game, the Packers may have to play the Niners. But luckily, that's not how the seeding worked out, because I think if they were the seventh seed, the Rams would have been the two seed. And as you saw yesterday, the Niners just seem to have the Rams number. So I think they avoid the 49ers. And in that case, I'm not worried about Matthew Stafford. I mean, Aaron Rodgers owns Matthew Stafford. There's there's little to no chance of Matthew Stafford coming to Lambeau Field in the playoffs and beating A-Rod. You saw what A-Rod did to Kyler Murray and them without like all his weapons. Devontae Adams was out. A bunch of other people were out. Went to their house and whooped them. So again, the Cardinals, I don't think they're a bit of a finesse team. We all saw how many interceptions Tom Brady threw last year. I think sometimes what happens is like you have a mental barrier, right? So like even though Brady played terrible, and I thought that the Packers should have won that game, kind of choked in the end. I think they're ready this year. They're ready for revenge. I don't see Brady playing that much better, so he has less weapons this year as well, and his defense is playing worse. And then that leaves the Dallas Cowboys standing in the way potentially to the Super Bowl. I'll just give you two words: Mike McCarthy. We all know A-Rod is petty as hell. This is the guy who didn't. He got so offended in a 60 Minutes interview when they called him not as tall as they thought he was that he froze out CBS for life, it seems like. And you've seen all the stuff, right? Like some poor guy gets photographed in LA and they're making fun of his car and his hands and his feet because, God forbid, he was not, somebody mistook him to be A-Rod. So A-Rod's going to bring it against Mike McCarthy. There's other people in the building that are probably very amped up to play McCarthy. And if you know anything about Mike McCarthy, he is the master of botching in-game situations, because the Cowboys have a great coaching staff, pretty solid team, great roster. Dak's not playing as well, but the main decisions the head coach has to make, which usually in the NFL now with the roster and coaching staff like that, is mostly clock management and some other things, and you can rely on McCarthy to mess that up. So I think if you're a Packers fan, I would call myself a sympathizer, not quite a fan. But I know a lot of Packer fans. I think you should be feeling good about this. The defense is playing good. A-Rod got weapons, got the run game. I don't see a choke job on the cards this year. I think he's too determined to prove that unvaccinated quarterbacks can win Super Bowls as well. So I think he'll bring the right energy. So be excited. I think that you all will avoid the Niners. That to me is the only team that somehow I think always plays the Packers tough, has a history of coming to Lambeau recently and doing well, and even winning a playoff game or two. So I think that's good. The other matchups, it'll be interesting. It'll be very interesting. I mean, I do think the Bucs will fairly easily handle the Eagles. The last year, Tampa Bay struggled against Washington. If you guys remember that first round playoff game, they didn't do as well. Barely kind of got out of there with Tyler Heineke, and then got rolling. So I think it'll be a game. It won't be like a 50-point blowout, and Jalen Hurts can move around, and the Bucs defense has not been as solid as expected. And of course, the offense is down a few weapons, but still pretty loaded. I think I like the Cowboys' chances of handling the 49ers. I think their defense this year is pretty good. The defensive line is good. They're physical. Dak has not been great. The running game has not been great, but I think in Corey Clement, they found something last week. So I think in the end, it'll be, again, a tight game, and the history of the Cowboys and the 49ers 90s, 80s. We all know what that is about. So I think they probably handle business there. And then the third game is the interesting one. I don't really have a good gut feeling about who may win, who may lose. Either way, I think whoever wins. If it's Stafford come in, Stafford stays, if Kyler stays. I think for your Packers fan, easy. It's easy money for A-Rod. Not a question. And then, because both those teams have kind of struggled over the last couple of weeks, right? I mean, I think the Rams kind of beat them pretty good. The Cardinals beat them pretty good earlier. But both of them, like Stafford's not throwing dumb picks, and Kyler and them are not firing as they should be. And got some injuries. AJ Green keeps dropping every ball that's thrown his way. So I think I like it. Amos and all them boys in the back end are solid. Defensive line is good. The linebacking core is not as good, but that's maybe the only weakness in the Packers team right now. Crosby's kicking well. Punter's doing okay. Offensive line got Bakhtiari back. Running game's solid. Play calling is good. Defensive play calling is excellent as well. So I think all in all, the ingredients are there and it's a highly motivated quarterback who wants to probably win a Super Bowl, maybe even retire, or if he changes teams, I think he would love to win one with the Packers organization, despite how much he hates Mark Murphy and Brian Gutekunst. So yeah, I think everyone should be excited, pumped up, ready to go. And I think the AFC is weak as hell anyways. So even though this video is about how I think the Packers have a really easy road to the Super Bowl, I would be pretty shocked if they make it to the Super Bowl, they end up losing it, because I don't know if Kansas City this year is that good. The Chargers have had this crazy offense, but they are not in. The Colts had this really physical team that's not in. The Titans are really good, but I just don't trust. Because, I mean, to beat A-Rod, you need your quarterback to make some plays, and I don't know if Ryan Tannehill can answer the bell when it comes time in the Super Bowl. The Chiefs, I mean, the Packers handled them without A-Rod, and the defense held them to a pretty low scoring total. So with A-Rod and the offense playing better, the defense will actually probably have more opportunities to be more aggressive and less time on the field. So likelihood to do even better is actually higher than likelihood of doing worse. Bills, easy money. Again, you're not going to beat A-Rod with some half a pretty throwing quarterback. You need a proper quarterback, proper team to beat him. There just isn't any, I will say, though, the team I would not want to face in the Super Bowl is Chiefs and probably the Patriots, because we all know, I mean, it's surprising how no other coach in the league can always call the right play, but Belichick can, probably because we've all forgotten about Spygate and that other gate they had when they got caught taping the Cincinnati sideline a couple of years ago. So Billy will know the plays. He'll probably call good defenses. And their defense has played well this year. But again, Mac Jones and them will have to make some plays too. And I don't know if they can. But I still won't want them in the Super Bowl. He has a history of mind games and just that he owns a lot of coaches' headspace anyways. And then the Chiefs, I think, from all the teams in the AFC, the Raiders I'm not that worried about. The Bengals are kind of a dark horse, but I think they have lost enough games this year. I mean, they lost to some teams that, no playoff team should be losing to. So I don't think they're as consistent yet. And then, the Bills and the Titans, I'm not worried about at all. They don't have the quarterbacking prowess to really cause trouble. And Bills don't have that running game. So I think it balances itself out. And then who else do we have coming in from the AFC? The Steelers, I mean, rest in peace to Hall of Fame career for Big Ben, but it's over for him, man. And I wish Ben well, but his career, I think it's written in the stars. Yes, if Rashad Mendenhall had not fumbled in the Super Bowl, they were making a comeback and had all Packer. I was there in Wisconsin. They could have won his third Super Bowl that year, but I think ever since then, great job, coaching job, Mike Tomlin. Love TJ Watt, fellow Badger. But I think Ben's career is over. It's done. You could see how he left Heinz Field the other day. So yeah, I think I love the Packers' chances of getting to the Super Bowl, and I find it very hard to believe that they lose to the AFC. So Packer fans, I hope you're excited. Please let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you.